Grease bells! This is Miss Warfare here, that's trying us back to Stanley Parable. Ultra-Lux, that's Ultra-Lux, or Ultra-Lux. Whatever, that's Stanley Parable Ultra-Lux. Don't be fooled by the title, but here we go again into the game. And madness. And the bucket don't wait for us again. Oh boy. Get the game. The end is another day, another day, and here we go again. Why the bucket find clear the stickers?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That means, serious thing again.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Oh no, the bucket. Okay. Yeah, I need to replace his keyboard eventually. Oh my
Stanley
gosh.
touched the bucket.
Yeah, let's come over in this direction.
The door on his left.
Come on, let me in. Yep, come on. I know the W button is a bit wonky for me now. Yeah, come on in. I know what to do. Let me in! Oh,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Anything changed in this room? Yeah, I think my keyboard's ready to be replaced. Oh my gosh. How long have I had this keyboard? That's the question. Okay, I think there's one more.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Well,
this is certainly the most...
me and my memory.
explanation.
Yeah, I think there's two more offices and one more on the side. I think that's all it is this side has.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Okay.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay. Just... You forget about those
Stanley and the
sparks.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read...
Escape!
Though this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
I know. But there's an ending this direction. I want the ending.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket seized every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At
No.
this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Here you go. The ending. There's another to end, another to end, another end.
As the
Attack.
machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
We're free. The Stanley Parable. Where am I going with
It was
this?
a shame,
Oh.
the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this
What?
one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Where is my bucket gone to? The bucket. What was you two not trying to do? You guys stay in the good knowledge, but like the bucket itself to win his mind. What the heck is going on here? Oh my gosh. Bucket?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
2 handles. Nice. I have indeed 2 days of the experimental. Area doesn't put the dentist for the tapping it. The 2 bucket. The Freedom Bucket. We're creating Freedom Bucket. Was movie was so popular that drove does the nation to war with fun for control it. Oh my gosh. This stress bucket. Oh, needed forecasting, worry, needed thinking, lack of insurance. Companies trying to souls. Oh my gosh. Ah, the bucket. Key drawings. Let me know the bucket proceed. This is what
No
the?
man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Hey, but this piece similar to the necessary relationship between bucket and man. I got the bucket. Can't keep me away from the bucket.
There is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment of fools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
What? Okay, I'm dead. That was weird. The end is neither the end, is neither the end, neither the end.
All of his
Is neither the end.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Come on, bucket.
The embrace of an old friend, a weathered
There
companionship
it
that
is.
stands the test of time.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think there's like 2 more days this direction.
Directly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Why can't I go back for the stickers? There's a lot of boxes. Okay. So we can do this one.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
The escape bidding. Let me do it with the bucket. I have to do. Come on. How far is it?
Stepping in.
There we go. There we go. Jeez. Let me go the other way. Oh, the door should be open for us now. Yes. Come on, bucket, we're escaping this madness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what am I going? Bucket back down. Oh, the bucket's coming with me. Into my right arm. We are now leaving. And the office is broken. Yep, the office is broken. Up we go the long way. Oh my god. Nope, not that door. We're going up! Oh, what time is it? Oh my god. Up we go. I'll bring it in this place. Oh, here we go. Escape. We're escaping! Okay. Uh. Come here, Stanley. Oh. What just happened there? Bye, Bucket. But he's just to leave, I get to stay. Oh, no. Here it goes. Oh, the music. Bye, Bucket. Sanctuaries. Thank you, Bucket, at least for that. Bye, Bucket. The inn is neither the inn is neither the inn. There's neither inn.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I lost my bucket. No, they get a new bucket. They get a new bucket. Oh no, the bucket is gone. The bucket is gone. No. Oh no.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I fully launched.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh no. Nope. I got nowhere
Stanley
to
was so
go.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Oh. Hi!
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay, I did. Red door, anything? It's never in.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. I see
anything.
Off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Can you get my bucket back?
All of his co-workers were gone.
I lost my
What could it mean?
bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
I found my bucket. It's stickers on. I was hoping the stickers would disappear.
Entered the door on his left.
I think there's one more in here this side has. So we're both red and blue. Okay. Down the stairs we go.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. And that's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
The bucket lost its magic.
This isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sort of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed the room was heating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
I'm
He
looking.
had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful.
Oh.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh, what? I ate the bucket? Did I eat the bucket?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her work was
needs a bucket for
interrupted by the
insurance.
thought of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh,
Right
jeez.
away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflip? What the heck, Narrator? What the heck? There's one I didn't want because I was forced to take it.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
How about it?
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Right.
Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Too late.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo.
Too late. I was fortunate for this thing. Let's see what happens. Get the bucket over here.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I
What?
don't even know. I've lost track.
What?
Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down
Okay.
doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I
Okay.
haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms.
Okie dokie.
Everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Oh.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get...
Huh?
What's that?
Oh.
There!
Oh, what the?
Caporata.
What? What just happened there? What the heck just happened there? Well, that was stomach, I see little jazz. Bye! Oh my gosh.